All right, welcome to the Home Buying Insider Show. I am Jeff Newton.
This is Josh Buffett.
And Josh, you are back from Atlanta. Welcome home.
Yeah, no, Atlanta was nice. It was a nice getaway. The weather was about 15 degrees warmer there.
Than it is here.
Sunny, no wind.
Well, let's get into the golf. Let me hear about that. Let's hear about that.
Well, I mean, it didn't help my game. But the weather was nice. My bad game fit nice in the weather.
So whenever, just so you non-golfers out there know, when a guy comes back from a golf trip and he talks constantly about the weather, it means his game sucks.
Well, I mean, I shot 92 and I shot 94, which is not good.
And like I said, you got your money's worth, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's
stroke per dollar was good value.
It's good to be back. We had a great show last week. It was fun. We talked a lot about credit and things like that. Today we got a pretty fun show. But there's fun things going on in the world. And you were, when we came back, or when you got back here and you were here today, you kind of were talking about the new airport.
Oh my gosh.
And so kind of tell everyone about it.
Well, Jeff, you haven't had a chance to go through it yet.
No, I got kids. I don't get to travel.
Well, I tell you what, I was a little concerned because, the airport that we had here in Kansas City before was smaller, but it was very easy to get in and out of. And that was one of the nice features of it. It was not a showcase place. It wasn't a place you wanted to hang out. It wasn't a place you wanted to shop. It wasn't particularly good looking. Matter of fact, not at all. But as far as efficiency, it was pretty easy to get in and out of. They haven't lost any of that with this new facility. But what they gained was something amazing and beautiful for the city. I don't know if you've got that video I sent you, but Jeff, you might pull that up.
Oh yeah, here, let me see if I can pull that up.
Yeah, but so they've got this. I mean, the whole place is super nice, but this particular artwork that they had, as you're walking into baggage claim, was very impressive. And I've been in a lot of airports. Ours is the best right now. And I mean, I haven't been all over the world in the airports, but I mean, as far as the United States, it's probably one of the most impressive airports we've got. Well, now, of course, it's the newest. But
that artwork is pretty cool. I just put a freeze frame of it up there.
Yeah,
it's pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, and it's moving. It's almost like a fountain, but it's lights.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If you can save me a couple bucks on my airfare, I don't give a damn about your $2.5 million piece of artwork that you got in the lobby. I don't care. I mean,
it's more than that.
Well, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. Today's inflationary price is probably $12 million or something.
Sure.
Nonsense. And then they just tack it off. Maybe that's what the 1% Kansas City tax goes to.
I don't know.
Maybe
supposedly it goes to
the roads.
Well, the fire department.
What it should go to is to everyone that has to drive on the POS roads in the state of Missouri. That it should go to a fund for your vehicle to be realigned every 6 months.
Yeah.
Sorry, not to make it hit people.
Hey, just so you know, Atlanta has worse roads than us.
Oh no, I'm sure. And hey, Tennessee's got worse roads. We went to Tennessee last year to watch the Mizzou baseball. Holy God, those roads are awful. But they also have a really low real estate taxes too. So I mean, they ought to raise that up about 0.5% and fix a pothole. Is what
right.
They should do. But so the airport does look nice. Okay, so what did they do? I mean, I'm obviously familiar with the old airport, but what did they change about the new KCI airport?
Well, it's just obviously all new, but it's all one building, so obviously it's one giant terminal. Before they had the multiple terminals. It's like a beautiful mall with all these shops and great food places and bars. And the artwork, obviously, and it's wide open. It's easy to get around. It's easy to follow directions. There's nothing it's not complicated. Like coming out of Atlanta airport, geez. I mean, it was. If you go the wrong way in Atlanta on something, it's going to be a minute before you get back the other direction. It's easy to miss a flight if you don't get to where you go.
Exactly where you're going.
I think Kansas City, it'd be hard for you to get lost. I mean, they've got it set up really nice. It's hard to explain without going through it, but I was super impressed. And I've been in a lot of airports.
Well, hopefully I'll get a chance to check it out here soon. If only to go up and view the artwork.
Well, there are people doing tours. They were there clogging up the driveway. Yeah, they need to get that fixed. I will say this, that no other airport that I've been in, people were able to park, leave their car, and where the pickup driveway was, and walk in. I mean,
yeah, I heard that.
Can we get that fixed? That seems like it's a little bit of a terrorist threat risk.
Well, I heard, so that's what I did hear was that the airport's beautiful, but the parking for picking people up.
Yeah, they ain't got that figured out.
Yeah, they don't have that figured out. Yeah, like they were sitting there, and it was after midnight. They were sitting in line to pick, because I don't know the whole story. I'm waiting to see this gal that I know and talk to her about it. But yeah, I heard that was a bit of a.
Yeah, they need to have somebody shooing people out of there, because right now it's clogged.
Well, I'm sure they'll get that figured out. And you know what? And let's be honest, the reason why Kansas City got a new airport is because we got a lot of stuff happening in KC.
Yeah.
Man, KC is becoming a different world. I mean, yeah, we've got the winter weather still that some of you Southerners don't have to worry about, like our Texas people that we're going to be working with. But
hey, they had snow this year.
I know they did. They like to brag.
Oh, they freaked out.
They get snow, but they also have the Cowboys, so it's really not kidding.
We have the draft coming.
Yeah, and
they got that airport done just in time
for that draft. It's right here in Kansas City, which is pretty awesome. And I heard, now I'm not a soccer guy, I don't piss anyone off, but aren't we getting the World Cup here?
I don't know. Don't ask me soccer questions. It's not my area of expertise.
There's got to be someone who's got a soccer answer for us. So yeah, I do think we are getting the World Cup here in the next couple of years or something. For some reason, I feel like
it's every 4 years, isn't it?
Don't ask me a question about soccer. I don't know.
So we need to quit talking about it.
Well, I would like for someone to actually, I don't want to educate it on it. Never mind. All I know is, hey,
I'm full. I'm sport full. I can't add a new sport.
College basketball tournaments are starting this week, so I'm pretty excited about that. Mizzou's actually, looks like they could do something for you. Mizzou.
Exit first round.
And
I know, dude. Hey, they've ruined me. I'm sorry.
Did you watch any this year?
Yeah, a couple.
Okay.
But it was hard because I just was so turned off.
23-8, 23-8, 23-8, number 4 ranked in the SEC tournament. If we can go in there.
Well, one of the games I watched was against KU.
Well, screw KU. Anyway, we don't talk about that. In fact, I almost would like to turn this whole damn show off.
You can't say screw KU.
I sure can say.
Well, you just alienated about 2/3 of our. Good job.
I don't care. I don't care. Come on, if a KU fan doesn't understand the complete disdain for each other that a Mizzou fan has, then screw them anyway. I'm sorry. I've got KU friends. They understand my disdain.
The Chiefs are starting to be hated. The Chiefs are starting to be hated now too. Somebody said when I was down in Atlanta that their mom or somebody didn't like Patrick Mahomes. Like, why do you not like Patrick Mahomes? Well, I think he's cocky. Well, he's got a few reasons.
I think he can wear them on either finger right now. So yeah, he's got a few reasons. Well, I don't mind cocky. I wish my brother would shut the hell up, but I don't mind cocky. But his brother can shut up.
Oh boy,
because he's certainly riding that coattail. Again, we're winding ourselves back into Texas, and that's that's where he's from, and that's who we got on the show today. We have Shanna Kramer on from the Kramer team. And she's with Fathom Realty down there. She's gonna be pretty great to have on. I've worked with her for a couple of years now. Awesome. I mean, when you work with a real estate agent, you want to, especially if you're going to send business to that agent. I mean, I know you have a lot that you work with right here in town, but if you're going to send business to that agent, you've got to trust that person. You have to trust that they are going to actually take care of that of who you're working with. It's your borrower. And man, I tell you what, you just never. I never have near as good a feeling as when I send something to her and I know she's going to take care of it and it's going to get handled.
Well, it makes a big difference what realtor you're working with. Even from our side of the business, not just from the customer side, but from our side of the business. I mean, when you're working with a realtor that understands what's important and how to get things done and move the ball, that is game changer.
Oh, it's a giant.
And then the opposite is true. If you're working with somebody that doesn't know, then you're picking up their parts of the transaction, which is we're willing to do, but it's it just makes it nice to work with a professional.
Very nice, very nice. And Shanna's definitely that, and she's definitely the better half of the Kramer team. She's got her husband is also there, and then they've got some great people that they work with that are really awesome. But Shanna's husband's great too, Jason. They're just all they're really good folks, good people, nice people to work with. And glad that I've gotten an opportunity to work with him as much as I have, and glad that we get an opportunity to talk to him today, so we can know a little bit about what's going on in the Texas market. We're down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so that's going to be good. So recap a little bit of last week. I know, it was kind of an interesting show because we went on credit, and of course we went live. And I said something to you today. I said, I felt like we were born.
Well, I mean, our subject is not always the most exciting subject on the planet. Finance.
That's the freaking problem. Because it's not the most exciting, but it's necessary.
Well, it's great information, especially if you're entering the market. Think about entering the market, considering entering the market. There's some good stuff that you can pick up here.
Well, and again, it is boring, and but it is necessary. And guess what? We had someone that listened to the show last week. They saw one of the cuts. They heard, and they paid attention to the credit portion of it, and they looked us up, and they came right in here into the office. Mm-hmm. And we sat down, and we're going to go through credit. And we kind of went through the lines, and I showed them, a plan of here's how we can improve.
There's a plan for everybody.
There's a plan for everybody. So whether it's boring or not, whether it's interesting or not, I can tell just by that one thing that it's neat. So we're going to continue to do it, and hopefully have a little bit of fun, and bring on awesome guests like Shanna, and to kind of broaden the horizons outside of the Kansas City market. So, anything else exciting happen other than your 92 and your 94 in Atlanta?
Well, I tell you what, Atlanta housing is it's pricey. There's they want a lot of money for houses in Atlanta, so big city market's tough.
Yeah. I don't think that's changing anytime soon.
It's just the supply.
Well, supply, and then you would think I had to. God, I know we need to get over to Shanna, but I just had someone text me like, should I? We've got about $200,000 equity in our house, which is an awesome position to be in, but thinking, wow, I kind of want to sell it because I don't think prices are going to go up anymore, and because the rates are getting high, so I don't think prices are going to go up. Well, that's going to be a really good question for Shannon to see where she thinks, because obviously she's in the market. I have my opinion on what's going to happen with that on that kind of scenario, and honestly, I think the rates going up in most ways it would drive prices down, right? Mm-hmm. But rates going up and no inventory, or lack of inventory, or less inventory, or fewer houses on the market, or however you want to put it, is going to keep prices up there, I think, and keep things improving. So we'll get her take on that and kind of get an understanding there. But so it's hot in Atlanta still. Wait, hot Atlanta, is that what they say?
Yeah, I think that's what they say.
Yeah, well, that's why prices are so damn high. So.
I mean, I enjoy Atlanta. It's culturally diverse, and there's a lot going on. It's a lot of rap. Big time rap people are from Atlanta, and they do a lot of the production there.
Well, there's a lot of production studios in Atlanta.
Yeah. So it's there's a lot of culture coming out of Atlanta. It's a huge influence on a lot of the media and entertainment.
Well, I want to know, is there any cool cars you see, McLarens or anything?
I didn't really notice a bunch of cool cars. It's not like Vegas or LA or Miami.
Together, Atlanta. Come on.
But they've got good potholes.
Good potholes. Well, that's why they don't have good cars. The potholes swallowed up the good cars. Right. The Aston Martins and things like that. So, all right. Well, hey, we're going to take a very, very short break. When we come back, we're going to have Shanna Kramer with the Kramer team from Fathom Realty. So we'll take a quick break and be back with Shanna.
Are you a veteran, serviceman, reservist, National Guard member, or a surviving spouse? You may be eligible to qualify for a 100% no money down VA home loan. The VA home loan program is backed by the federal government and is one of the premier mortgage loans on the market today. Call us now for a free VA mortgage consultation and let us help you make your dream of home ownership become a reality.
All right, we're back, and we are with Shanna. And we're figuring out some technical things still here with this podcast, since we produce it and do all of it, and so we're still figuring out a few things. But Shanna, welcome to the show. How are you?
I am doing well, guys. Thank y'all. I enjoyed the first part.
Yeah. I heard her first text. I heard y'all That's awesome.
All right, Texas heard y'all. That's what I was
We
hoping
are talking
for.
to Texas.
Yes, we are. Well, welcome, Texas. Well, hey, so are you excited to get up here to see the new airport here?
I am. But I didn't get to see the artwork that you posted, so I'll have to look that up.
Well, we'll send it to you. I
It
would.
sounds good.
Yeah, it was.
Was it not on there?
Well, no, it was on there, but Shanna wasn't on yet. I think she was busy. She
Oh,
was
okay.
working with a customer somewhere. So
Oh.
I know her.
I can send you the original video if you want it. It's like 5 seconds long.
But it is pretty cool. It's can't, like you were saying, Kansas City's kind of happening here recently. With the draft and
That airport.
What did we win the other day? What was that, Shanna? Oh, the Super Bowl. Okay.
Oh yeah. It's like about a month ago, but it seems like yesterday.
It seems just like yesterday.
I've been letting everybody know, just so even in Atlanta, I told everybody.
Well, that's good. You have to tell everybody.
They didn't forget.
I was rooting for y'all.
Well, we know, and we could feel it down there in Texas. I knew you were. I was going to ask you, gosh dang, I just lost the train. Oh, World Cup. I couldn't tell if you were shaking your head that you knew, but is it in 2026 or what?
It's 2026. They'll be there in a couple other cities. Okay. Yes.
So that's cool. All right. Well, there we go. We got our question answered. Josh and I aren't soccer guys, but
I'm not either. But I like any kind of sports. So
see, there's Shanna. She just knows things. So
I already got my bracket ready to fill out. So
yeah,
you got Mizzou going a long way, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Don't do it.
Well, if we play on St. Patrick's Day, don't do it. We'll be a first round exit. Every time we play on St. Patrick's Day, we exit first round. So
we played that one team that was all Irish.
Yeah, dude, don't get me started on that team. All Irish guys.
I think that's what did it for me.
It wasn't, but I remember we watched that game together.
Yeah.
And
Johnny O'Quigley.
What was it? Johnny or Patty? I don't know. All I know is there was way too much Irish happening that day, and we lost. So that's. Anyway, I don't want to drag that up. If we wanted, we could open up old wounds with Mizzou at all times. So, you and like I was saying, I don't know if you heard us, but you and I worked together for 2+ years, and we met through a mutual client that was a veteran, which was really, really cool.
Right.
And then the relationship spawned from there. And why don't you kind of tell everyone about how you got into the business and really just tell everyone about yourself a little bit.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm down here in the DFW area, south of Dallas, in a little county called Ellis in Waxahachie in Midlothian. But I'll go anywhere and serve any location. I don't mind driving. I managed a internet department at a local car dealership for 12 years, I think. And my job there was calling people all day, so I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Training.
And then my husband worked at the dealership too, Jason. That's where we met. He ended up leaving, becoming a real estate agent. 2 years later, convinced me to quit. It was the best decision that we've made, because we're both competitive, so we both want to one-up each other.
Good, I like that. That's for sure.
Healthy competition. But yeah, and then I've been doing this a little over 3 years now, and I absolutely love it. And I love finding lenders like y'all that, like you said, have a good mutual partnership. I can trust you, you can trust me, and if there's an issue, I can call you Saturday night at 10 o'clock and you'll answer me.
Yes. Like Josh and I say a lot of is the best ability is availability.
I like to call it accountability partners.
Yeah.
Keep each other accountable on the servicing the customer.
Well, and that's and I said this when we were talking. That's where it comes in for me, is being able to trust who I'm working with. I've got some great people here in Kansas City that I trust, just like you do, but it's nice that with where we do business and who we work with and things like that we're able to meet some awesome people outside of our Kansas City region.
Right.
And hell, I even met Jason and Shanna and all of them in Vegas I don't know, like back in July or something.
Was that fun?
Yeah, it was last. Oh yeah, we had a great time.
I've never had a bad time in Vegas.
Oh, I've had a bad time.
The morning sometimes is bad.
You know how you make fun of people coming home from Vegas? You see them on the flight, they're coming home, they all look like The Walking Dead. You can tell who spent their life savings. I've been that before. It's been a long time, but I've been that dude before. So, well, kind of, number one, Waxahachie. That took me. Did I pronounce it right that time?
Waxahachie.
See, I still don't say it right. It's been 3 years. I still can't say it right.
That's okay.
It's a pretty crazy area down there. It's been exploding. I mean, there is property everywhere. Or, well, is there property everywhere? I guess is the question.
Well, yeah. So I looked it up too to see how many just in our Ellis County. We've got 711 houses for sale that are up for sale, and it does depend. Like I know y'all are talking about the pricing. It has come down a little since what we saw back in the crazy times, I say.
Mm-hmm.
But it really does depend on also having a good realtor that will list it how it needs to be listed, running the comparables around there, talking to the client, making sure they understand this is probably what it's going to sell for, and if it's worth more, then we'll get multiple offers and it'll sell for that. We just had one listed that I've been working for 4 years. I'm pretty proud of that one. They'll close in a week or two. We had that one sold within a week. It was priced right. It's not going to sit on the market for several months. There are some out there that will sit there for several months, and I'll see them and I'll tell my client, hey, great. This means we can negotiate. We have the opportunity to negotiate now, ask for seller credits, and take care of your closing costs or even buy down the rate. We have different options now than what we had back during the COVID times, to where we need to put an offer in today. Do you want to do it or no?
Yeah, you need to do it immediately, ASAP.
That's right. One thing I've noticed about the change in the market, at least in the Kansas City area, and I'm assuming it's similar where you are, is that the lending options have opened to where we can now do some USDA, some FHA. They're accepting those kind of contracts, and the seller paid closing costs are now available as well.
Yes, and it's great. I love telling my clients, hey, guess what?
Yeah.
I didn't get you the 2,000 you wanted. I got you 4,000. And it's
right.
Start high.
Yeah, exactly. Especially because prices, not only prices on the home and the property have gone up, but prices on everything, your services,
the interest rate.
Well, the interest rate, hey, interest rates are going to go up and down, but like title work, for instance, has gone up. I've seen prices go up.
The work number.
Yeah, geez, yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
BOEs are ridiculous. I mean, because most people are going to refer you to the work number, and this is something that's a lot of people don't understand on our side.
Credit reports. Okay, when I started this business in 2002, you could get a credit report for 2 people, so husband and wife, three girls, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. You could get all that for like $16 or $12 if you use factual data. Now it's like $100.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
so
eventually that all gets passed down to the customer.
Exactly, which is, I mean, we pay the invoice, right? I mean, that's what we pay, and it translates to the borrower. So when agents are out there actually working for their customer, like Shanna does and the Kramer team, man, that's huge to get seller concessions. Because if you can keep money in your pocket, Shanna, you and I worked together for 2.5 years or so, and you hear me all the time say, I work to keep the most money in the borrower's pocket, period. That's what I want. And that's why we work well together, is because they have the same kind of philosophy as we do. So Jen, I mean, when it comes to the listing, I mean, we'll start on the listing side of it. But when it comes to the listing, what do you think is one of the most important, other than availability and an agent that will work her ass off? What do you think is some of the most important part of what the agent's job is when we're listing a property?
As far as listing, definitely having a professional photographer coming out, which we, for our clients, we pay for. We come out, we get it staged as well. That's very important. Have them kind of take off all the clutter and have a stager come in, and they think that the clutter is all gone, and then the stager comes in and it's, nope, here is everything else that needs to go. Like I said, having the professional photographers coming in, having it deep clean, just having it model home ready the best that it can be. And like you said, availability, being available to have anyone come and look at the house whenever they want, getting it out there, marketing it, sending it to everyone, putting it on Facebook, TikTok. I need to get into that.
Well, you've got a great personal TikTok. I mean, I've seen that. And I don't know who's got better dance moves, you or your daughter, but I think they're both pretty good.
It's my daughter. Yes.
Yeah, it is. And I saw her gymnastics. She's pretty awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I have that, and then I have my Jeep has its own TikTok. So.
Wait a minute, you got to tell a little more about that. So
I'm confused.
Because Josh has a Jeep, but it's a Cherokee, so I don't know what kind of Jeep.
I don't think it has a TikTok. I don't know about it. You need to educate me if I've got a TikTok on it.
It's a Gladiator, and me and my daughter love going to duck the Jeeps. You know, she gets a kick out of that, and I'm part of the Jeep Girl Mafia, which is nationwide. So
Wow.
it's my fun.
I think I noticed a little pink in that.
So educate me a little bit with the Gladiator. What's that? Is it a Wrangler family?
It's like the Jeep truck.
Oh, the Jeep truck. Okay. I'm just a Cherokee. I think a lot of the Jeep people think we're kind of on the outside of the Jeep world.
Yeah, you're not cool. You don't get TikTok.
Grand Cherokee,
Grand Cherokee does not get the TikTok. He gets a grandma.
Supposedly we can do everything they can do.
No, you can't.
You're part of the Jeep family, yes.
Okay, good.
He is not. No, not at all. You don't have special.
When I had a Wrangler,
you don't have special gloves, and you don't have your own TikTok for your Jeep. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
I am not part of the Jeep Mafia.
No, you don't get. You know too many Jeep guys, and they will tell you no. I mean, we'll call Strand up right now, and Strand will tell you no. You know that.
When I drove a Wrangler, like the Jeep people would wave at me, and I'd wave back.
A Wrangler.
But the Jeep Grand Cherokee, no one waves, and I'm not waving back.
You get no love at all. You're like a motorcycle dude that's got a Honda. You're that guy.
I did drive a Honda when I was 500 Intercept.
All right, see, there you
go. It was a fast.
Yeah, but no matter how fast it is, the guys on the Harleys are driving by you, flipping me off and laughing. Same way.
They would catch up.
Yeah, they catch up for sure. Especially when you hit a pebble in the slot. So, all right, so you got your own TikTok for your Jeep, which I do love that. That's great. Now, again, did I notice some pink in that Jeep? I thought I did.
Yes, there's pink all over it. So Jason won't drive it now. So it worked.
See, okay, you led me to my next question. Was the pink to keep him out of it? And if that's the case, can you please get a picture of that? Because I could probably do something with that. That would be fun. I think we can work that in your logo somehow. I'm sure.
It wasn't intentional to keep him from driving it. He'll drive it if he still needs to, but
he must be in the room because I have a feeling it was intentional.
Oh, he's not. No, he's not. But it was a bummer. I had to put the top back on it yesterday because it was drizzling.
Oh, you guys experiencing the Texas winter? So it got down to what, 40?
It's like 67 today, so it's a little chilly.
20 degrees better, just like Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh man, it makes me want to move to Texas. Although you put up some properties before that make me want to move to Texas. I see them. I'm like, gosh, man, that's beautiful, and it's pretty well priced. So, you said something just a few minutes ago. I wanted to revisit. You said there's 700 plus properties on the market right now in Ellis County.
In Ellis County, 711. I just looked them up here. Those are active, not pending or an option or contingent.
What kind of population are we talking about?
That's a good question. Probably 100,000. Let me see.
100,000.
So would you say that's probably on the low side? From let's go from the
200,000. 200,000 in Ellis County.
So that's what, 3.5% more. So would you say that's on the low side, or it's still hard to compare the last couple of years compared to 10 years ago. But let's just say over the last couple of years, is it probably more on the low side, or is it kind of in the middle, or?
And I don't even. Back when it was kind of crazy, I don't think I ever really looked up just Ellis County.
Well, because... I mean, you didn't need to.
Right. When I started, I got my license, and then 2 weeks later, COVID hit, and then everything happened. So this is all new to me.
Talk
But
about raised and forged in fire. There you go. Hey, change careers. By the way, global pandemic. Screwed.
right.
It was good timing though.
Well, you know, it was because the market
It's a good market to come into.
Yeah.
Well, that and people like the testing centers were closed after that, so people who were done couldn't take their test until it opened back up. And luckily, yeah, I just got it done and was able to go put my mask on and go show people houses. You know, but now it's nice that the market's kind of where there's more houses for buyers to look at, is what I'm seeing as more of a buyer agent. I'm able to give my clients more options, you know, more, hey, these will go FHA, and they probably will be looked at, not just passed aside, you know, because of appraisal. You know, we can't waive the appraisal like everyone else can with the conventional and the cash. So that was nice.
Yeah, no, I you know, you had said something also earlier that about flexibility and being a little more flexible as a buyer now, and you don't have to put the offer in. You don't have 5 minutes to make a decision, which I thought sucked. I mean, I'll be honest with you, because I'm sure there was multiple bad decisions made. Not saying it was anyone's fault. It's just, you know, I know, you know, as a buyer, when there's a little bit of pressure on you, then you're like, God damn, man, I don't know, I gotta buy a house. I need to buy a house and buy a house.
Mine's sold.
Yeah, I know it. Oh my God, rates are good. I need to go. And then all of a sudden you buy a Toyota Tercel instead of a house you need, and you screw up. And there's
a lot of as is buying, you know,
there's a lot of cash buyers. Are you seeing that kind of go down a little bit of the number of cash buyers that are in the market?
Yes. As far as what I've been getting is a lot of lending. Yeah. You know, I'm waiting for maybe just a lot of people to come out and say, hey, I've got cash because I sold my house 2 years ago and I'm moving out of my apartment or my rent home and I'm ready to put cash down on a house, you know? So hopefully that comes.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. And hopefully if instead of buying and paying full cash, we just put a little bit of money down and finance.
Oh, that too, yes.
Because no matter what, rates are going to go down. I mean,
you're just dating the rate.
That's it.
You're marrying the house. You're dating the rate.
Exactly.
I've heard that, yeah.
That's a great way of putting it, actually, is because, and like the other day, I was talking to some man, like, look, housing prices are going to continually go up. They always do. It doesn't matter. I don't care what the market does. It doesn't matter. Year over year, housing prices go up. So if you think you're never going to buy that house cheaper than you are today. Okay, it's not going to be cheaper in 2 years or 3 years. It's just not. So, but the rate can go down in 2 years, and your payment can go down, and it can get cheaper. And so, like you said, you're dating the rate, married to the house.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, so I get my fair share of millennial content, and the millennials are a lot of them are waiting for the housing market to pull back, you know, for a downturn so that they can buy. I've got bad news. I've got a really strong feeling that we're not going to see anything like what we saw in 2008, because that was a finance disaster.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we're not. I mean, there's not going to be property on the market like that. It's because everybody's got equity.
Yeah, people have equity.
So you're not gonna have that pullback, even if there are foreclosures. So I mean, I encourage people that if you want to get into housing, you need to buy a house, because it's only going to go up. Supply is not changing tremendously. They're not building houses like they were in the early 2000s. It's just that there's a supply issue.
And I don't feel like that's going to change as much. Now, it is good to see that there are plenty of houses on the market in certain areas. You know, I don't know. In fact, I kind of wish I would have looked to see how many were on the market in the Kansas City metro area, but I don't know. I don't know how many people are even in the Kansas City metro between all of it. Hell, anymore, I don't even know what counts as the Kansas City metro. It's crazy.
I think it's over 2 million in Greater Kansas City.
Greater Kansas City.
You mean like an actual Kansas City metropolitan?
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, but Greater Kansas City is over 2 million.
So I'm guessing we've got quite a few houses on the market. But, you know, Shanna, one thing that we've been talking quite a little bit about is, you know, the houses that are on the market have been, you may not find a perfect move-in ready house, or maybe something that needs a little bit of work. And need some things done to it. Are you seeing any of those properties on the market down there that need new flooring? Or that just need some work and some TLC?
Yeah. Yeah. There's still some of those, there's those houses that, yes, needs new flooring. The carpet's all messed up or old. Yeah, but not like,
not a lot, but it's out there.
yeah.
And is there a little bit of reduced pricing on that, as far as a little discount for the buyer on something like that, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can, ask for it.
Yeah, well, that's what we were thinking, is that maybe there's a little flexibility there, and because between all the types of renovation loans there are out there, I still think that's going to be. I think if more people utilize those renovation loans, that it would. Number one, I think it'd sell more houses, honestly, and I think it would make it easier for buyers to get in houses
and sellers to sell.
Because
you might be putting off selling your house because you've got this things that you need to fix about it, and you really don't have the money to do it. And if you could put it on the market and a renovation loan can come in and solve that for the buyer, it solves it for the seller as well.
Solves it for everybody. So that's something we've talked about a lot, because FHA, VA, and conventional all have that product that's out there for renovation. So
right.
That's something we want to utilize as much as we can. We've got a couple of VA we've got a couple of reno specialists right here in the office. One of them, well, you met James. He'll explain every asset, everything about reno. He'll tell you for sure, like down to the nail, literally. So he's very knowledgeable in that. And when you're doing something like that, you want someone that knows what the hell they're doing, because if not, you get a clown show, and next thing you know, you're in a disaster, and you're pushing closing dates, and the seller's pissed off, and the buyer's mad, and no one's happy. And that's the last thing anyone wants to do, because our number one goal, both yours and ours, is customer satisfaction. That's the best way to put it. So, well, Shanna, I tell you what, we've loved having you on, and we want to have you on more. This will be fun. It's nice to kind of get an idea of what's going on in the market outside of the Kansas City area, and especially for the buyers that you have down there. And we work with a lot of people in Texas, so it's really good to hear what's going on in the market. In fact, I know one person right now that is definitely listening, because they are relocating from Mississippi to Texas, and I can't wait. Yep, I'm introducing them to you, by the way. I'm just waiting for her to get everything ready to go. But yeah, she's moving over there. Have you heard of Hawaii Fluid Art yet in Texas?
No.
Okay, you need to. And this is a shameless plug, but I'm not getting paid for this. I just love the woman that put this together. Her name's Maya Ratcliffe. Josh, I think you know Maya.
Oh, yeah.
But she created Hawaii Fluid Art out of her garage a couple of years ago. I can remember talking to her about it when it was very in its infancy, and then all of a sudden she sends me some art pieces, and next thing you know, she's got 140 franchises sold.
Nice.
One in the Dallas-Fort Worth. She actually moved down to that area 2 years ago.
What does it do exactly?
Oh, dude, if you haven't checked it out, Hawaii Fluid Art. Check it out. You guys would love it. It's really cool. It's a girls' night place. It's a family place. You go in, it's like splatter paint. And
I got you.
So cool with a Hawaii feel.
So you drink wine and create art?
I'm sure you can drink wine or tequila or whatever the hell you want to bring. I'm guessing. I don't know that for a fact, but I do know this. It's really, really, really cool. And so one of her, when she lived over in Hawaii, she knew this gal that is in Mississippi. Now she works for Maya and for Hawaii Fluid Arts, and she's moving to the Dallas area or down in Shanna's neck of the woods. And so I know she's watching, or she's going to be watching this. So it's
hi.
Yeah, her name. Well, I'm going to say her name. No. But yeah, so it's good to hear what's going on in different markets, because we do talk to people all over the country. So it's really good.
Yeah, the DFW area is still, it's a little bit different than the country as a whole, because we still have so much going on here. There's still a lot of people moving here. It's not slowing down. It's just more and.
Yeah, the Dallas area is hot.
Yeah, it is hot. Well, in the news, you hear about Florida all the time. Everyone's moving to Florida. I'm like, dude, people are moving to Texas too.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are moving to Texas. I don't know why you don't hear about it as much, but Texas is hot. So
maybe it's a lot of tech people.
Yeah, a lot of tech people. Well, I think Musk is moving stuff to Texas, if I remember right, or did move stuff to Texas.
Joe Rogan's there. He's in Austin.
Oh, is he? Yeah, Austin's kind of cold, isn't it?
No, Austin. That's like I don't know, it's their cultural center of Texas, they call it, so.
It's the music and
Art.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, I retract it saying it's kind of a whole, but
Well, Texas
rumors.
University's there, so.
I've heard rumors is all I'm saying. It's kind of anyway. But anyhow, yeah. So Texas is hopping and happening, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, Shannon, tell everyone how they can get a hold of you and how they can see any of your properties and things like that.
Okay. You can go to, you can give me a call, 817-319-9395. You can go to www.mykramerteam.com, which we are with Fathom Realty. So we're going to get that up and going here. We just switched to Fathom, so we're working on the website.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I knew you guys were working on the website and stuff and redoing it, revamping it, and making it, Texas cool, I guess. So, yes. which will be good. So we're excited on there, and of course, everyone can. We'll be able to go to homebuyinginsiders.com and check out the page that we have built out for you, so they can reach you right through there as well. Definitely give Shanna a call just if you have questions that are about the market down there, because like she said, it's happening and it is moving and values are still going up. So I don't think in the DFW area, if you buy a property, I don't think you're going to regret it as far as turning it into an equity building machine. I think it's going to go up. So I think you're in a good position. But well, anything else that we want to touch on before we get out of here, and I'll let you get back to work?
That's it for me. It was fun.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for being on. And we'll definitely schedule this again. We'll get an update maybe in the next couple months or so and see really how spring's going there in Texas and the Texas real estate.
I'll let y'all meet Jason too.
Oh, well, and then you'll understand what I mean by Shanna's the better half. All right. Well, tell Jason and the rest of the team we said hello down there, and have a great weekend and go sell something, all right?
All right. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Take care. All right, guys. We're going to be right back with the Home Buying Insiders podcast.
Are you a veteran, serviceman, reservist, National Guard member, or a surviving spouse? You may be eligible to qualify for a 100% no money down VA home loan. The VA home loan program is backed by the federal government and is one of the premier mortgage loans on the market today. Call us now for a free VA mortgage consultation and let us help you make your dream of home ownership become a reality.
All right, we're back, Home Buying Insiders podcast, and man, it was really great having Shanna on.
Yeah, it's nice to get a flavor of Texas.
The
y'all. I mean, she came right out with y'all.
Dude, right out the gate. We didn't have to tell her. We didn't have to ask.
It just flows.
Dude, it's amazing. And I tell you what, I all BS aside, they're really cool people. And the one thing that really drew me to Shanna and her team down there and their team down there was she does care. I mean, like actually care. Like the customer I sent, we worked on together in the very beginning. There was something that was going on that was outside of anyone's control, and she's a pit bull, baby. I love it. I mean, she was on it, and that's the kind of person that I want working for me.
Proactive.
And that's the kind of person, as a mortgage person, that I want to work with, because I don't have to go behind her and make sure that we say a lot in this business. A lot of things are CYA. Everyone's got to cover your ass.
Right. It's not my fault.
Yeah, not my fault. I don't want to have to do that with a real estate agent, because I care about the customer, and working with a person like Shanna and the Kramer team, dude, they care, and it makes our job. We know this. It makes our job a hell of a lot easier, not having to worry about, did my agent screw up?
Yeah.
Or is she doing great?
On our side of the business or the agent side, the anticipation of potential issues and the proactive response to that is so crucial.
Absolutely. And there's a fine line too, because don't make something a problem that's not a problem yet, but anticipate the problem. You and I, whenever we're doing a loan, and the guys that work with us here, when we're doing a loan, we look, all right, 15, 20 steps ahead. Okay, what am I waiting on? Is there something buried in this credit that's going to screw me up?
And there's always going to be problems or issues and things that come up, even on the simplest ones. But there's always going to be something, whether the house or some kind of inspection, whatever it is. Just understand that those are things that are going to get resolved. And as long as you're proactive about it, they get resolved in a timely manner and everything goes smooth.
Yeah, and if you're working with the right people, be it agent, lender, as the borrower, you might not even know there's a problem. You might not.
Right. Well, yeah, you don't pull fire alarms until you solve the problem. There's no reason to do that. I mean, it's stressful enough. I mean, having to coordinate movers and schools and you know, everything that goes into moving, changing your stuff and figuring out what you're going to actually keep and what you're going to throw away, and a garage sale if you have that. There's all those things that you're thinking about. The last thing you want to think about is some kind of lending or real estate issue that could be resolved fairly easy with some professionals.
Yeah, with professionals to do the job. Because I mean, you got the couch that you got to worry about that it doesn't fit inside the new house. It doesn't look right. It doesn't have. I mean, and so you've got, like you said, you've got all that stuff to worry about. And the last thing you want to worry about is the lending side.
Mhm.
And if you're working with a great real estate agent and you're working with professionals on the mortgage side and the lending side, man, it's so much easier. Yeah, we know no matter what. I don't care who the borrower is. We know that there's going to be something, because there's always.
It's very invasive. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's the biggest purchase most people ever make. There's a reason why, you know, it's a arduous process, because they're giving you a lot of money, so they're going to ask for a lot of stuff. But you know, working with professionals and people that understand exactly what's important and what needs to happen is crucial.
And it makes all the difference. And you know, we are lucky, as we, you know, matured in this business and been in this business for a long time. One thing you figure out, you know, when you first start in the business, you think, I just want to work with everybody I want to work with. And then as you get older and you worked in this business and you actually become more of a professional, you're like, you know what? I want to pick and choose who I'm working with. I want to decide who I'm working with.
Mm-hmm.
Because you start realizing, I mean, at least maybe this is just me, and maybe this is obvious to everybody else, but as my career has gone on, I start realizing, well, God damn, people like believe my word and they trust my word, and so that matters. So I got to really be careful about who I align myself with, because I mean, if people call me, have you ever, you're the guy to some friends about some things, right? I'm the guy for finance, or I'm the guy,
Yeah.
you know, I got, hey, you know, a guy for this. Well, I'm always the guy that people call, and so I'm like, you know, I got to make sure that whoever I'm aligning myself with and whoever I'm working with really
Gives you the right look.
Yeah, it gives me the same values and things. You know, it was funny because my son's working on a school project. It's a Bible project, and it's him and another guy or kid. You know, they're freshmen in high school, and they're doing a project. And he's like, yeah, she's doing the research and I'm doing the presenting. I said, well, just make sure that you know you assist with the research, because the words are coming out of your mouth.
Right.
And
yeah,
it doesn't
they'll
matter.
be your words.
Exactly. It doesn't matter who wrote it. It's coming out of your mouth. So
Right.
those are your words. So you got to make sure that you inspect what you expect and use it. So, you know, it's the same way here. When we send somebody to a real estate agent local, I mean, I know you work with a number of local people. I mean, which we both do. We've been doing this for a long time here.
Yeah.
You know, you got to feel confident in who you're sending them to.
Yeah, you have to know what their strengths are and understand, you know, how they're going to approach the business and what they're going to do for the customer, and their level of professionalism. Before you refer somebody, you want to make sure that they're going to be handled properly, because it's you.
Yeah.
It's your look.
Well, if you send them to somebody and it's kind of like you send a person to a restaurant and the food's awful and you said how great it was. Well, why are they going to trust you again? They're not going to call you next time for it. And in this case, if you send them to a horrible agent and it doesn't work for them, which is that I think is where a lot of agents forget that they actually work for that borrower, that customer, that person that's looking for a house. They work for them. So if they don't work for them, then I mean, why do they think that you're going to work for them? Mm-hmm. So, you know, that is pretty important on who you work with. So yeah, definitely thanks to Shanna Kramer, the Kramer team with Fathom Realty in the DFW area of Texas. We appreciate it. You know, Josh, anything else going on here in the Kansas City? I mean, I know we've got a lot of stuff going on in the Kansas City area, but the housing market, I mean, it seems like it's heating back up. I'm starting to get a lot of phone calls.
Well, it's springtime, and you know, and there's a natural movement every spring for people to start thinking about, hey, what am I going to do for housing next year? You know, my lease is up. You know, I want to move, you know, to whatever area. You know, my kids, I got to make sure they're in school, you know, before the start of the next school season. So it's time to start looking, or it's time to start listing. You think, well, hey, you know, the springtime, weather changes, people get out, they can come, they can walk, they can look at the house, they can see things. There's no weather that's impending. their movements and things of that nature. So yeah, it's an active time.
Yeah, it's going to snow at least one more time.
Well, yeah, for sure. We're in Kansas City. We're right on the jet stream.
I'm guessing opening day of baseball is going to snow. That's kind of my prediction. It did last year. I remember I was sitting in opening day, right field, right above the dugout, and it snowed its butt off.
It's so funny. I've got more warm clothes for the Royals than I do for the Chiefs.
Isn't that crazy?
Because of all the opening days and early season games that I've been to, that I end up having to buy something at
the highway robbery
right,
store
yeah,
inside of the stadium. Yeah, if you believe me, you might get to ask me, can I get a pullover? Yeah, from Walmart.
Right.
Because here it's $120 for the same thing I can get at Academy for 60.
Yeah.
I mean, but we all know how that goes. So, but the market is picking up. I'm already starting to feel it. I've talked to quite a few people that, both borrowers and agents, that are like, hey, look, we're starting to see some action, some movement, and starting to get prequels and, asking for updated prequels because, oddly enough, in the last 3 weeks, rates have changed about 3/8 of a point.
Yeah.
Not for the better.
No, and people are getting used to a higher rate, but and they're starting to understand that this is the market. And like Jeff and I said before, house prices, they're not going down.
No, they're not.
They're not. They're going to trend up. They're going to continue to trend up. What you buy a house for today is going to be worth more in 5 years, substantially. It'll probably be your number one investment. So, you might as well get on the train because it's going to keep moving.
And something you and I have said a number of times, there's got to be a plan. Well, it doesn't just pertain to credit. Right now you've got short-term. Look, I don't want to get all in finance and all that kind of crap because I'm no way a financial advisor. That's not what you and I do. It's not at all. But we're also not idiots, and we live in the real world. We work in the market.
I've been around for a few years.
Yeah, I've made good bets and bad, and lots of them on the bad side.
Those are the ones you learn from.
I'm not doing that again. Again, you learn through one way. It's pain. It's either monetary or physical. Well, that was a lot of monetary, so I've learned. And I don't even want to get into Bitcoin. Still should have owned a lot of Bitcoin from about 2009.
Yeah.
Anyway, different story. But right now, hell, the Treasury. You buy a 6-month Treasury bill, you're going to earn 5%. So I know rates are high, but how about this? How about instead of being upset about the 7% or 6.75 or whatever the case may be, and putting 20% down, how about only put 5% down, save 15%, have that 7% interest rate, take that 15% that you just saved, put it into a Treasury over the next 6 months, let it earn you 5% back, and now you've got a net. All right. Sorry, but it makes sense. It's a way to offset the interest you're paying on your mortgage.
Right.
Okay. And guess how much risk is involved in a T-bill?
And the more people that invest in bonds, the lower rates will get.
Exactly. And the higher and the yield stays up. Just if you could earn 4 and 5% on a short-term bond, the 2-year bond is like 5% or so. So there is ways financially. Okay, and I've got a buddy of mine. He's actually, I think he's still active duty, but he's a financial advisor. And we're going to have him on here in the next couple of weeks, and because this is an
active duty financial advisor. That's cool.
Well, he is an active. He is active duty, and I can't remember if active duty Army, I think, but he's still or National Guard now.
Oh, okay, yeah, so he can do both.
Yeah, so he's a financial advisor. So very cool guy. He does a lot of stuff, but he knows this aspect of it. And I'm telling you, man, there are ways to make money right now and buy property. Buying a house now, because like we said, and like everyone will tell you, housing prices are only going to go up, but rates will fluctuate. You said it perfect. You date the rate, marry the house. You couldn't have said it better. So if there's other tools that you can take your money, if you don't have to put as much money down on your house and you can use those tools to make you money over here, it offsets itself. Mm-hmm. So it's something to think about. And the best way to do that is to give us a call at homebuyinginsiders.com. It's 855-971-1050. You can talk to either Josh or myself. We're happy to answer any questions for you. Any questions that we can. Of course, we always have, specialists for different things, whether it be renovation, put you in touch with financial advisors to help make the transition into buying a home a little bit easier and make sure that you're ready for it.
And if you need counseling for your credit, you need to understand what your plan should be. You may not be in the exact right spot to start, getting a mortgage now, but through coaching, we can put you in that spot within a matter of months.
Yeah, you can learn how much money you need to have down. You can learn how much money you need to set aside so you're ready to go when it's coming time. The more prepared you are, the better. It's kind of like walking into a dealership with a check from the bank already in your pocket. You got a check for $25,000 just in your pocket. Well, guess what? You can negotiate. So go look at that $30,000 check, see if you can get it down 25 grand. Go work them. So it's just a little bit more power. And in the real estate world, it's everything's power.
Same.
It's the power in your hand by knowing what you can do.
Get qualified.
Get qualified. So, all right. So it's 855-971-1050. It's homebuyinginsiders.com. Hopefully this show was had a little bit of information in it. I think it did. I think we got some great information from Shanna and the team down there in Texas, and I'm excited about that. Next week, I know we have a local Kansas City agent, I think, coming on next week.
Yep.
The next couple of weeks, in fact, we have a couple of local people coming on. So that's exciting. I'm ready for that. Other than that, you guys can always send us questions here on the YouTube channel or give us a call at 855-971-1050. Till next week.
We'll see you then.
And God bless and have a great week and a great weekend. Take care.